Last week in Devabhoomi, Uttarakhand, security forces seized significant quantities of charas in anti-narcotics operations. Now in Mizoram, authorities have seized methamphetamine tablets valued at approximately rupees 3 crores in a joint operation alongside the Indo-Myanmar border. These back-to-back busts highlight the intensified war on drugs being waged by central and state agencies across India's sensitive border region from the Myanmar border in the northeast to the Nepal border in the Himalayas. Security forces are reporting a series of massive drug hauls in recent weeks, reflecting a sustained crackdown on smuggling networks. Investigation into these cases are underway to identify the kingpins and larger syndicates operating behind the drug mafias, many of which have cross-border linkages. Joining us to tell us more about this is my colleague Nibir Deka. Nibir, give us the details on what it is that we're tracking right now. We're understanding that the estimate value of the drugs that have been seized is 3 crores.
Well, absolutely. If you see the area where these drugs have been busted, it is near the Indo-Myanmar border, which tells you the trade which comes from outside the country and northeast is being used as a transit route to go to the different parts of the country. Mizoram is one of those areas where the drugs are usually used as a transit route, and these busts are really important because it keeps you a check on the flow of narcotics inside the country from the international border. So this is a very important and major bust which has been done, and this should not be seen in isolation. Similar busts have been made in Assam, Tripura, which tells you the kind of interconnected networks that these narcotic substances and the smugglers use. So this is a very important recovery, but what is more also concerning is the use of the transit route, which has been time and again used to transfer drugs in different parts of the country.
Right, absolutely, Nibir. Thank you for sharing all those details with us. Sanjay Srivastav joins us from Uttarakhand. Sanjay, help us understand what happened in Bhimtal, the drug bust that is in question.
पुलिस की चेकिंग थी, उस चेकिंग के दौरान इन्होंने एक गाड़ी को रोका और उस गाड़ी में एक ऐसा संदिग्ध व्यक्ति मिला जो कि पहले भी गौकसी में गिरफ्तार हुआ था। जब उसकी गाड़ी से तलाशी ली गई तो लगभग 3 केजी के आसपास चरस मिला। उसके बाद उस गाड़ी की जब पूरी तलाशी ली गई तो और भी चीजें संदिग्ध मिली, जिसके बाद उसको गिरफ्तार किया गया और गिरफ्तार करके पूछताछ में पता चला कि पहले गौकसी में, क्योंकि उसका काम जानवर जैसे मुर्गा और ये सब बेचने के था, उसी की आड़ में गौकसी करता था। लेकिन अभी कुछ दिन पहले ही उसने ये काम में अपना इन्वॉल्वमेंट उसने बताया और उसके बाद इसकी गिरफ्तारी हुई है और अभी पूछताछ करने के बाद उसे जेल भेज दिया गया है।
जी बिल्कुल, संजय बने रहे हमारे संग. We're also being joined by a guest this afternoon. Major General Sudhakar Ji, geopolitical and strategic defense expert, joins us on the broadcast to share his perspective. So concerning that last week there was a drug bust in Bhimtal, and now we're understanding that a similar instance has occurred in Mizoram where drugs worth 3 crore rupees have been seized. You know, how do you essentially view this? And how concerning do these back-to-back seizures then become?
Asavri, good afternoon. Thank you for taking me for your show. Definitely, it's an issue of serious issue of concern. But it's not that it was not happening in the past. It has been happening since past 10 to 15 years or so. One has to understand the larger picture. The larger picture is that there are two avenues of the narcotics. One is the Golden Crescent, the other is Golden Triangle. Golden Crescent is towards Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iran, and since Taliban has come down very heavily, there is no poppy cultivation going on there. So they have shifted their bases to Balochistan in Pakistan. And it's a tragic period. The production has taken a dip, and therefore the focus is on the Golden Triangle towards Laos, Cambodia, Myanmar and borders of India. So although the quality, when the heroin produced or the methamphetamine tablets which are produced, they are of inferior quality. A kg of heroin produces or gives a profit margin of almost about 3 to 5 times more than a similar quantity of narcotics produced here in the Golden Triangle. What I am trying to highlight is, it is to be understood in the perspective. Globally speaking, the larger picture is there are three different avenues through which the narcotics used to be supplied in the past. One avenue was through the I would say the Caucasus, the Baltic portion. Another is to be the Central Asian Republic. The third one is to be the South Asian, that is the Indian subcontinent. And they have the UN department which is dealing with the narcotics. They have very successfully and effectively been able to close these two avenues, one passing through the Baltic side, the Caucasus, and thereafter across Turkey into Europe, the other one through the Central Asian Republic. They have been able to effectively dominate, deny, and also plug the kinds of openings. But the one which was passing through India, it used to be at one point in time called as the transit corridor. The transit corridor, it did not have any consumption pattern in India, but for past 10 odd years, it has been found that the narcotics which was found passing through India towards Southeast Asia, then towards going far east or towards New Zealand and Australia, and towards Hawaii Island and towards the American market, that certainly started showing some percentage of rise in consumption in India. It started with 1 to 2%. As of today, I am very alarmed to share that the percentage of consumption of narcotics in India, 3-4 years back it was 10%, now it is going to cross 20%. It's a very alarming figure. Now what does it indicate? It indicates on one hand, towards Afghanistan, there is a dip in the production, and towards the Golden Triangle side, there is a rise in production, and there is an expansion of the area which is developing poppy cultivation and processing of all these chemicals. And more than that, the order of supply or the route of induction of supply has also showing gradual patterns of reversal. That is the Golden Triangle becoming one of the nodal points through which it is to pass to Southeast Asia. Now it is seen that it is passing into India, thereby indicating that in times ahead the consumption pattern is going to show significant rise. And therefore, what it implies is that the government of India is taking very, very serious steps of studying the pattern and developing intelligence, and thereafter also keeping an eye on the cultivation pattern, the sources, primary sources, the processing units, and the delivery boys, particularly the middlemen who carry in different modes of transport. They are keeping an eye, and that is how this big operation has led to a success. It's a huge success, I must compliment. Also, Asawari, if you have 1 minute, let me share one thing. That the Rohingya groups who are in Bangladesh, one of the group is very famous. It is called as ARS or ASR, I am forgetting the acronym. They are very famous. In 1 month, they are producing something close to 600 crores of rupees in 1 month. This is the kind of revenue they are generating purely out of narcotics, getting from Golden Triangle into India and taking from whatever is coming high grade quality of heroin from the Golden Crescent through India and taking it across the Golden Triangle into Southeast Asia. There is a crisscross, there is the intersection of this supply chain of narcotics taking place. Mizoram happens to be at the cross border, I would say, with Chin province. Chin province is very, very becoming very notorious. This has got defined routes of supply chain of the narcotics which are coming into Myanmar and going out of Myanmar through Bangladesh, through Mizoram into the India, the main hinterland. So therefore, government has to take very serious efforts to arrest the trend. Otherwise, you will find the consumption pattern which was negligible 10-15 years back is gaining momentum, and you will find the youth bulge because everyone cannot be employed. They fall prey to these kind of things, as is happening in most part of the Punjab, as was happening in J&K earlier. Now I believe that started targeting Gujarat. This is the hybrid form of attack to bleed India with 1,000 cuts. Back to you, Asaf ji.
Right, so absolutely. I request you to stay on with us and let's quickly put out what I have over here on my screen so that we can give our viewers an understanding on what happened in Bhimtal. Let's put out my touchpad, please, and here are the details that matter. Nainital police busted a major charas smuggling racket. We're also understanding that the operation was conducted by Bhimtal police and ANTF team. More than that, the drugs were hidden under a cover of chicken cart trade. In more details, 2 smugglers were arrested during the joint checking operations, and 2.683 kgs of hash was recovered in the raid. With that being said, the Bolero picked up the vehicle, which it was seized by the police team, and one accused has escaped into nearby forest area, while Vijay Singh Bisht has been arrested as the co-accused. So those are the details that we're tracking as far as what happened in Bhimtal is concerned. And again, over here, what I want to bring to everyone's attention is that the 2 smugglers were arrested during the joint checking operation, but the drugs were hidden under a cover of chicken cart trade. So that's a detail that one should keep in mind. Mr. Sanjeev Srivastava, Foreign Affairs expert, is joining us on the broadcast. Sir, we've just broken down what exactly happened in Bhimtal and the first set of clues and cues as far as this case is concerned. What would you say? What would you like to say on that front?
ये पहले से पुलिस को शिकायत मिली थी कि एक लाल कलर की अल्टो कार के द्वारा इस तरह की चीजें की जा रही हैं। उस दिन उन्होंने देखा कि एक अल्टो कार आई, उसके पीछे एक बुलेरो कार थी और बुलेरो में मुर्गे का काम किया जाता था। जैसा आपने बताया कि मुर्गे के आड़ में ही ये लोग चरस का काम करते थे, तो पुलिस ने पूरी पहले से जो उनको जानकारी मिली थी उसी के अनुसार इन्होंने दबिश डाली और दोनों गाड़ियों को इन्होंने पकड़ा। एक गाड़ी में अख्तर हुसैन और दूसरे में विजय सिंह, ये दोनों लोगों को इन्होंने गिरफ्तार किया। एक तीसरा अभियुक्त था जो कि बच्ची राम का नाम का, वह वहां से फरार हो गया, उसकी भी ये तलाश चल रही है। लेकिन जिस तरह से ये यहाँ पे चरस का काम कर रहे थे, क्योंकि मांस की गाड़ी पे और जिस तरह से मांस के बीच पे रख के लेके आते थे, वह कहने को तो है कि गिरफ्तार आज हुए हैं, लेकिन ये लगता है कि बहुत पहले से इस तरह की चीजें करते आ रहे हैं। क्योंकि उत्तराखंड में पिछले काफी दिनों से देखने को मिला जितने बॉर्डर के एरिया हैं वहां से ड्रग्स आ रहा है और ड्रग्स आम जन तक पहुंचाया जा रहा है।
बिल्कुल।
और उस
बिल्कुल, मैं बताना चाहूंगी, इनफैक्ट I'd like to just quickly put out some more information on the screens. Let's quickly take what I have over here on my touchpad to give our viewers an understanding on what it is that happened in Assam. And here are the details. The police conducted successful raids in Sibhumi and Nagaon. We're also understanding that the narcotics that was caught was around rupees 14.5 crores worth of narcotics that had been seized. The Assam police intensified the crackdown on the drug networks. As you can see, of course, 7 accused were arrested in the major statewide operations. And the drugs were seized during a coordinated police action, as we understand, and the visuals, of course, telling the tale. So again, those are the details that we're tracking as far as Assam is concerned. We, of course, broke down what happened in Uttarakhand as well. Let me go across to Major General Sudhakarji. So I come back to you with an important question. You were telling us about the fact that everything is well planned, well executed. These syndicates who are behind these operations know exactly what they're doing and they've done their homework. With that being said, how difficult does it become to then do the crackdown? What are some of the things that one should keep in mind while of course breaking this entire cycle?
Yeah, I must compliment you for raising a very important question, and framing of question is very important for anchors. You see, this is what should be a serious issue of concern, and our ecosystems being developed to prevent proliferation of narcotics. Call it whatever charas, or you call it methamphetamine. Somebody sent me a message now that what you are talking of is not methamphetamine. Yes, I do agree. They are two different things, but neither of the two, neither charas nor methamphetamine tablets, are allowed to be either produced or processed in India. As per the law of India, it is highly illegal. So the question which you have asked is how difficult it is, and how does Government of India focus on what all issues. First and foremost thing, we need to actually study the pattern establishment is very, very important. Whether it is coming from Pakistan, because to the best of my inputs, which I am gleaning from the open sources, you have there is a boundary, disputed boundary between India and Pakistan, which is being taken advantage of, and it's along the Gujarat, the border, and the narcotics are being inducted through that into India. There is also a route coming from, now you have established that coming from Chin province of Myanmar into Mizoram, from Mizoram comes into the mainland, and likewise. And Bangladesh and Chin province, they also have some common borders. And Rohingyas, I am very sure there is a group of Rohingyas, it is ARS most probably, they are indulging. Their primary task is to be the middle persons or form groups in order to transport them from place A to place B. Some of them they are there at processing and production and also farming places. So all these things put together, what it brings out is that there is a requirement to study the ecosystem existing, study the pattern. Pattern will emerge only after we get the inputs, like this has happened after seizures have taken place. After having carried out the initial study, a kind of a network will be established on the map, and the routes of induction or the infiltration or penetration has to be identified. This is one part. Second part is the intelligence. Intelligence of people who are dealing with the subject or who are employed at different points. One needs to penetrate and get closer to these people, start winning the hearts and minds of the people. Idea is not simply to Seizure. Idea is to stop this business right from the primary source itself, so that people who are involved, we need to actually get them onto our side by winning over with the hearts and minds. And for that, the different mode of operation is required. And third and most important point is, after you have done all this, hard cracking of the seizures that has happened now, 3 crores, 14.5 crores in towards the northern part of Uttarakhand and this side, all these are based on joining the dots, and this requires immense amount of strategic patience, and you have to have trans-border, that is the interstate collaboration is required. NIA has to come into play, multiple security agencies have to be taken help of, and the state governments have to play on a common platform so as to prevent penetration or infiltration of all these into the respective states, take advantage of the fault lines that are socio-economic profile exists in India today, whether it is religion or the ethnicity or the languages or the state division or socio-economic divide, inequality, anything can be taken advantage of, and people below the poverty line, they tend to fall in target actually. So they have been targeted, so such kind of issues have to be seen, and then a kind of a sustainable counter strategy has to be worked out at different levels, strategic level, at intermediate level, and at the local level. Some have to be time bound, short term, medium term and long term, and there have to be some issues also have to be out of the circuit of the security apparatus. The mothers, the parents have to play a very important role. The friend circles also have to be kept on eye. And so much so, we can't have a system like China. We can't have a system like the authoritarian countries are having. We have to have a system wherein it is going to be womb to tomb. The mother has to have time to ask the child what was taught in the class. Do you have to go back with your homework completed? Or is there anything that you require tuition for? What did you do with friend A, B, C, D? Some interactive session time has to be there between the mother and the child, which is actually truly absent today. And the father also has to play his role. So therefore, the parents as on today, in addition to the workload that they're taking in the employment platforms, they also need to spare some time for the children. That is very, very important because the charity begins at home, and the school also plays a very important role. When the school is going out, they have to be mindful of the fact that this is on the expansion and the drug menace is actually catching up from the north towards the hinterland. Now it has started from the east, like
Right.
old days of saying of the DGISPR. He had made a statement post Operation Sindoor. This time Pakistan is looking for a flank in the east to launch attack into India. This will assume a multiple kind of a dimension and form. It necessarily may not be like the Pahalgam one. It could be a different one. Back to you, Asad.
Absolutely, sir. I request you to stay on with us. Let's quickly show our viewers the details that we're tracking from Mizoram.